So hello and welcome to today's video, where today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at Buddy's beta test map. Now weirdly, Buddy actually has two of these, and they're kind of broken, as accessing them with mods usually results in this weird lighting issue where the entire game turns into that limbo game and you really cannot make anything out at all, aside from like some silhouettes. However, this map mod changes and fixes that issue by spawning it in the main map, and this map mod was made by Deadpool XYZ. Now the first fun fact about this test map is they're actually located on the gym's roof near enough. I'm not joking, you can actually access one of these maps by doing just that, no clip required. Anyway, let's begin taking a look at the highest up map, which seems to be more of a test map for the way the game works, as it's mostly flatland with a few buildings, but there are some very interesting things to be seen here. First of all, if we go to the far end of the map, we have what looks like a shooting range, as we have a big fence and multiple targets behind it. Now this is weird because you see the gap in between the fence? Well, it's actually solid for some reason. This actually seems to be because the shooting range uses the platform at the far end of the shooting range to hit the targets. There's also this news box thing which I don't think exists anywhere else in the game, so if you can make out what it says, you win a cookie or something. Now for some reason we get better angle on the top of the ramp. Now scattered around the map we see loads of buildings, and most of them just look normal, albeit a bit weird. But this is a test map, but one that really sticks out is this weird pink and green illuminated building. Maybe Cosmo and Wanda live here, but there's something about this that feels really eerie. But the building is much more run down than the rest of them, and the entire building is empty aside from a really narrow hallway and small empty rooms. Like honestly, this feels like it could be from Manhunt or potentially inspired Happy Vault's Asylum. Now, most of the rest of the buildings in this area are just the same, just big empty buildings of varying size. Some are small, others are massive. I can't help but wonder if this means Rockstar were considering the GTA 4 approach to entering buildings, or if it was used just for the test map. What were these test buildings actually used for then if they're just big and empty? Well, there's a load of leftover scripts that can work with a bit of tweaking, such as a beta version of Norton Williams' boss fight, a Rats in the Library style mission where you kill rats with apples, or Davis and Troy having a chat. Now fellow Buddy YouTuber Simonbestia has showcased a few of these on his channel, so I'll put a link to both videos down below. Now interestingly, former Rockstar Vancouver employee Dennis Opal has shared a few baited Buddy videos on his Twitter where he showcased off the combat system he worked on before he left Rockstar, and as such he was never credited in the game whatsoever. Which personally I think is fucking terrible because he put all the work in and doesn't get credited, but anyway, all of the videos that Dennis showcased take place in these buildings where he'd be testing the fighting styles. Now if you look closely, even though it is in bad quality, you can see a pulsating ring. Now of course these are pickups, and it shows that Buddy's pickups were going to be initially the same as GTA Vice City. Also, if we go on the original version of the map, and I'm talking the completely broken version which looks like Limbo, the pickups are still here, but they're really hard to see. One other thing we should look at here is this tree. Yes, trees exist in the final game, and yes they are used, but this one actually has a bit of a sniper's nest on it rather than Jimmy just sitting on the branch. The ladder used to climb up is a bit broken, and no, the platform thing has no collision sadly. There's also some pillars here which I think were used to test climbing and fall damage, and you can do a little bit of platforming here too, but yeah, there's nothing much to really test here. There's also a few more buildings which I assume were used to test bridges and ledges, there's nothing too special about them. But let's move on to the second map, which is located right below the first. Now I just want to say that since this only works by spawning it into the main map, there's going to be a lot of clipping and collision problems alongside props from the main map popping in. Now starting off, we have nearly every single prop in the entire game here. We have gnomes, we have untextured beta gnomes, signs, drinks machines, and interestingly a lifeguard's chair, which I don't think spawns anywhere in the final game. Now I'm not going to sit here and analyse every single prop, but there's a few unused ones here anyway. But this map also contains the only remains of the deleted snowball fight minigame, as there's 3 snow barricades here. Now one of them does actually appear in the deleted motel mission, which can be played but crashes after the first objective. But it's the only way we can actually see the barrier in all of its glory without it being, well, collisionless I guess you could say. Also, I should mention that none of the props here are breakable. For some reason there's also the stairs to Borth Academy located here, and the rails are really buggy. There's also some really weird slopes which appear absolutely nowhere in the final game. I don't even know what these were going to be used for, bikes maybe? Either way, if we no-clip and put Jimmy on this, he bounces down rather than slides down. So I don't know what this is going to be used for, but yeah. Now for the best part of the map, we actually have a beta, possibly untextured, skate park. Now because of what I said earlier, it's really difficult to navigate because of the main map popping in. But what we can skate in, it really reminds me of the Tony Hawk games in a way. Like, I honestly think Rockstar were going to give us skateboard tricks too, because the props have like rails on them, and if you've ever played a Tony Hawk game, you know rails are begging to be grinded on. And the only use we have for rails in Buddy is just sliding down them. And honestly, the entire thing just looked somewhat finished if you ask me. Though we can just see the park, but it's just untextured and missing a few props. It feels weirdly out of place if I'm being honest, like we might have had a skate park somewhere in Bullworth originally. And we know that bike tricks are going to be possible, so maybe this is going to be part of a bike park as well? I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if Rockstar were considering skateboard tricks. But yeah, the fact we got like loads of half pipes, the fact we got loads of ramps, it just says to me that maybe Rockstar Games were planning on giving us some more freedom with bikes and skateboards rather than just riding on them, and that's about it. And our tour of the test map comes to an end at this really weird road place, which might have been used to test car paths, but at the same time might have been part of the beta map layout. Now that is unlikely, but you never know with this kind of stuff. Like, to me at least, it seems to share some similarities with Bullworth Town's layout. But that's basically it for the tour of the Buddy beta test map. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. So thank you for watching, and have a great day.